One of the companies behind the COVID-19 vaccine is now looking to use mRNA technology to improve the flu shot. In a late-stage clinical trial, Moderna says its mRNA-based flu shot was found to be more than 25% effective than a standard flu vaccine, with greater effectiveness in people 65 and older. So joining us with more this morning is Dr. Dale Kalina-Samji, infectious disease specialist and Chief Medical Information Officer at Brant Community Healthcare System. Thanks for coming on the show.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
So what do we know about this particular vaccine so far? It's in late-stage clinical trials. What does it mean when Moderna says it is 25% more effective?
Yeah, so the way that they organized this trial, interestingly, was to see how it compares to the vaccines that we already have for influenza. So those yearly flu shots that we already have, that would be the standard. And so that is what they compared it to. And what they found, what they're saying that they found is that in their phase 3 trial, which is kind of this late stage trial, it was 26% more effective than what we would usually do to protect people from the flu, and a little bit even more so in elderly individuals. I think it was about 27% in elderly individuals in that phase 3 trial.
Vaccination rates, we know, all over the world are down, including here in Canada. And so even if we had an improved, so to speak, flu shot, how can we convince Canadians, more Canadians, to get on board and get vaccinated?
You know, what I always say to people with respect to vaccines for respiratory viruses particularly is that getting COVID or getting the flu or getting colds, things like that, it sucks. It's awful. And any way that I can do that, do something to prevent that or prevent how awful it can be, I go for it. And I think that that's an important part. These vaccines, when we talk about flu vaccines, they've been around for decades and decades and decades, and they are safe, they're effective, and the great thing about this one is that it's even more effective. But really, what I think that Moderna is trying to hinge on here is that, of course, they developed one of the predominant COVID vaccines. And so what I think that they're looking to do, hopefully down the line, is probably pair a COVID vaccine with a flu vaccine that works really well, which is what we're seeing here, so that people would only have to get one shot, for example, every winter to prevent as many respiratory viruses as possible.
My understanding is they floated that idea, realized that America in its current zeitgeist is not favorable towards this combined shot, similar to what we'd have for MMR, measles, mumps, rubella. And so they've now focused solely just on the flu shot, understanding that more people then would perhaps be interested in taking it. It does happen at a time when vaccine policy in the U.S. is entering new territory. So how do companies like Moderna shift vaccine development in this era?
Well, I think just what you've mentioned, it's really tough. You need to always figure out what your target market is and try to swim towards that. And in the United States right now, of course, vaccine development and the support for it, so funding for it, things like that, not just vaccines, but also, frankly, science as a whole and medicine as a whole is really taking a hit politically. And as a result of that, there isn't as much funding that's going to that. So a company like Moderna that is really based entirely around vaccines really has to swim towards the markets that they've got. The flu kills thousands of people every year here in Canada and in the United States. And as a result of that, there really is a market for vaccines that help reduce that risk. But where we also see that benefit here in Canada is reduced admissions to hospitals, reduced time away from work, things like that. They all strive to improve our healthcare system and the health of individuals in it. And when you see a lack of funding and a lack of political willpower in the United States, that really is an opportunity for more markets to open up here in Canada and around the rest of the world, really.
Great to have you on the show, Dr. Dale Kalina-Samji, infectious disease specialist. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.